About 75 kilometers north of capital Kathmandu lies Dupchesar Gaonpalika. Gaonpalika stands for Rural Municipality. Lampate village, where all NGOs Nepal carried out drinking water supply program, is located at this very municipality. Lampate village is one of the most remote villages in Nepal, where there is no roads, no electricity. Health centers and school are located around 2.5 kilometer walking distance. The nearest road to Lampate village is very challenging, as most part of the road from Dupchesar rural municipality to Lampate village is agricultural roads, and riders have to face muddy roads, cross rivers, and ride up stiff way for about 2 hours until they reach Gangfedi village. From this village, there are no roads at all. Surveyor team of AN, after recommendation and direction from executives of Dupchesar rural municipality, headed towards Lampate village to study the current situation and feasibility of drinking water at this village. When the walking journey initially started, teams were really excited to see the natural beauty that surrounds them. Throughout the journey, beautiful hills and forests, rivers, clean and green atmosphere, and complete silence from city population and noise were experienced. However, after walking stiff ways for a few hours, surveyors were really exhausted. They had to walk upward for about 2.5 kilometers. On the way, local villager helped them to show the road. After experiencing clear, sunny and foggy weather at the same time, and at final night, the team reached Lampate village.
यो पानी चाहिँ कहाँबाट ल्याउनुहुन्छ त? ए
Next morning, surveyors allocated village and found out people there had no jobs at all. Livelihood entirely depended on agriculture and livestock. Due to shortage of water, people are reliant on rain-fed crops such as maize, barley, millet, which are not even enough to feed themselves. Selling of cattle, milk and milk products are the main sources of income. All of the villagers are early school dropout. Though few kids now attend to school located at Gangfedi village and walking every day for about 2 hours both ways. All the villagers gathered together to meet the surveyor team. After having salty, villagers started to share their stories.
हामीले यहाँदेखि 8-9 घर चाहिँ पानी छ, तल घर छ, माथि अनि पानी त्यहाँबाट एउटा थालले चाहिँ गफरीमा हाल्दा 1 घण्टा जाने 1 घण्टा आउने 1 घण्टा त्यति मात्रै पानी खान पाउने
हो त?
हो नि
त्यो पनि फेरि राति के भन्छ राति बग्नु पर्छ त्यो पनि भ्याकुताले सबै
बजाएर डराम सराम सबै चाकचिकी बनाएर आउँछ गाडी आएर सबै थतो भइरहेको छ
दिउँसो चाहिँ चौपाईलाई पानी पुग्दैन हामी मान्छे खानुलाई चाहिँ राति ल्याउनु पर्छ
नुन्छ खानुहोस्
ए नुन चिया हो त ठिक छ म त छ्याङ होला भने
छाङ होइन बिहान बिहान कहाँ छाङ खुवाउनुहुन्छ अब
अनि अहिलेसम्म किन पानी यो उन गर्नुभयो त कुरा
हामी लाटो कानु खोइ अब हाम्रो चाहिँ यो भने नेता भनेको चाहिँ हामीले काठमाडौँ बस्छ हामी चिनेको छैन यहाँ आउँदैन अब त्यतिकै चाहिँ जिउ परजिउले जहाँ पानी हुन्छ त्यहाँ चाहिँ रातमा खेपेर खान्छ एउटा गाँठीमा भरेर खान्छ त्यति हो अन्य ठाउँ चाहिँ पानी अब धारा अर्को
अनि भूकम्प अगाडि चाहिँ पानी थियो
हजुर
भूकम्प अगाडि चाहिँ
पयब त छैन पहिल्यैदेखि हाम्रो अहिलेसम्म चाहिँ पयब छैन
कति के अरे गाउँपालिकामा नि हामीले भनेकै हो क्या तर भन्दा नि अब आउँछ भन्नुहुन्छ हामीले भोट दिनुपर्छ जुन चाहिँ पार्टीले नि हामीले भोट दिनुपर्छ पानी आउँछ भन्नुहुन्छ है पानी पारिदिन्छ हामी जित्यो भने दिन्छु भन्नुहुन्छ जुन चाहिँ नेताले पनि अनि लास्ट टाइममा जितिसकेपछि त यतिकै चुप लागेर बस्दिन्छ त्यही
ल ठिक छ अरू के भन्नु तपाईँहरू
मेरो जिउमा अब चाहिँ मैले 68 भइसक्यो 68सम्म चाहिँ भोट हाले पनि एउटा चाहिँ पयबको धाराको पानी खानु पाएन
ठिक छ
Source of water from village was around 1 hour walk deep into forest of Langtam National Park. With the help of measuring tape and GPS reader, the distance from source to village was measured to be around 1330 meters and the discharge of source was found to be 57.6 milliliter per second. All the necessary details were taken and the team now headed towards Kathmandu office for further developments. Engineers compiled and analyzed the data. Design was developed accordingly. The source was adequate to fulfill demands of those households if collected properly into a reservoir tank and distributed to all the households. According to the design, all construction material required were collected and transported to village. 5,000 liters of PVC tank, 23 coils of PVC pipes, cements, pipe fittings, GI sheets, etc. had to be transported. The roads were only stretched up to Gangphithi village. From there, villagers carried all materials to Lampathe village. Transportation works were very difficult and time consuming as a person is only able to carry 50 kg of load. It took months to transport all materials from Gangphithi to Lampathe. Construction and transportation works hence had to be carried out simultaneously. Construction works were divided into two main phases. One, construction intake for collection of source water and its transportation to reservoir tank. Second, distribution of water from reservoir tank to household. Every day, Aunt's team, Mason, and laborers had to travel back and forth 1 hour from source to village. A temporary camp were built for preparing tea and lunch for workers. Cement, sand, and pebbles had to be transported to working site. Luckily, sand mines was close to village, and for pebbles, stone were crushed by hammers by local people.
यहाँ हाम्रो ढुङ्गा कुट्दै गिटा किर्दै अनि यहाँ हाम्रो केटाहरू सुपरभाइजर्सहरू अहिले एकदम टेक्निकल काममा लाग्नु भएको छ। त्यो कति छ रे हाम्रो डाइ?
अब एक बराबर यस्तो पाइपमा त चाहिन्छ नि हामीलाई। जाला नि यति मात्र चाहिन्छ। जान्छ भने कति खन्दियो? नै गएर गएर 1 फिट भयो हुन्छ नि। 1 फिट भन्दाखेरि अलिकति बढी भयो नि।
प्रेसर कुकरको आइटममा hand cooker. You have egg, potatoes, mixed dal.
Oh my god, I'm so psycho. Shit. I was talking about like this kind of dishes we get in our.
After finishing long day's work, all workers had to return back to the shelter for the night. Early in the morning, workers and villagers gathered again for the day's work. But some days, due to heavy rain, and some days, villagers had to go down to the town for their personal work. Our team had nothing to do, rather wait. For transportation of water from source to RBT, pipes had to be stretched out and kept inside dug earth to prevent it from possible damages. A total of 1,750 meters pipe of 32 millimeters were used to carry out water from source to reservoir tank. After all the hard work of past 12 days, now was the time for testing whether to see water collected at source have successfully transported to village or not. It gave us immense pleasure to see water coming out from pipe. This means water collected at source will now be collected at reservoir tank. Phase 1 of our work has been completed. Community tap was also constructed near RVT for tourists and visitors. This tap was built so that villagers could learn on technical know-hows of building taps. Before heading towards Kathmandu, all the necessary materials required for building tap were given to villagers so that they could build taps even after our team left the village. Finally, after 12 days of work, we left the village. We decided not to go back to village until 2 or 3 months as a testing period to see whether there would arise any problems for water to carry out from source to RBT. Construction work of phase 2 started with construction of a safe house for RBT. The weather at Lampate is extremely cold at winter, frosty at autumn, and sunny at summer. Hence, RBT made of PVC could be easily broken down. Eight households built a tap each on their house, and one community tap was built as mentioned earlier. All of the people of Lampate village fall under poverty line, and it feels sad to see living condition of people. Even the basic needs of people living in such remote villages are yet to be fulfilled. We could see immediate impact of drinking water in livelihood of people. Women and children are no longer forced to collect water by walking far away. And if there is a tap near their house, it would definitely make huge impact on their health and hygiene. Villagers also have already developed a mechanism to direct wastewater from taps towards their kitchen garden for vegetable farming. After monitoring all distribution channels, President of AN, Mrs. Anima Shrestha, along with senior member of community, jointly inaugurated the program. It was pleasing to see villagers happy and thanking us for our work.
म्याडमहरू सरहरू पाल्नुभयो यो जोड गर्ने जीवन सरले जोड गरिदिएको
आज दिनमा फर्किँदाखेरि कस्तो महसुस भइरहेछ तपाईँले?
एकदमै खुसीको महसुस।
तपाईँले कस्तो लागिरहेछ अध्यक्षजी? हामी डाँडा काँडा छोडेर आज कहाँ जाँदैछौँ त सरहरू?
हामी अब धनकुनीतिर
13 दिनको दिन अब आजबाट चट्ट
ल यो डाँडा काँडालाई चाहिँ बाहिर भनेर यसरी
1 month long stay in village in 2 phases. We had to return back to Kathmandu for our normal days.